So with the edge leading down and on, even though it's the same angle, that edge may be less keen than the same angle moving across the steel and the up and off. That tends to draw the burrs out into what is called a wired edge, and they can be very, very, very sharp. But that's where you run into the problem with the burr and what they call the burr root, and does that thing flop and does it roll and all that. So I prefer to finish my edges with a down and on edge trailing stroke, edge leading stroke, down and on edge leading stroke at the same angle. Gives me a little less keen apex, but it removes that burr, and it makes it more robust for that same angle. It also opens us up to getting cut because we are moving our hands down against that exposed edge. And that is why I use safety shields, finger guards. Wicked Edge makes them. You can use cut-free gloves. The stones, the distance between your fingers, how you hold it, and that knife edge is very close, and these fingers dangle, especially that ring finger. And it's easy to cut yourself. So that's why I use the physical barrier on my stones, and then the plastic hits it and not my finger. I don't know what to tell you. I chose to find a way to let me do, because I did cut myself at the beginning. I did not like the cut-free gloves because I'm always checking the sharpness and doing my paper test for the sharpness, each and every grit to see, and places on the knife when I feel there's a nick, and then I work on it, and then I go and check the sharpness to see if I refined it. I work that particularly. So the cut-free gloves, any kind of gloves, they were a nuisance because I had to keep peeling them off in order to feel the blade. So that's why I use the finger guards. The choice is yours. It doesn't mean if you can't use the finger guard that you're a wuss or something, or if, whatever works for you. Don't worry about whether somebody does it better than you doing it a different way. It's experience and it's results driven. Do what works for you. Judge what you find safe and what you want. If you want to use up and off edge trailing stroke to finish because you feel that that's better, then do it. It's going to give you a super sharp edge because you're working with the precision of the Wicked Edge, and you're setting up your angle, and you're doing all that extra stuff. That's what we're striving for, is that perfect edge and that perfect polish, and that is what I'm trying to do and share with you how I do it. Yes, I use the towel or something like that each time to wipe the edge. Cleaning stones, just incidental at the end. I don't ever clean my diamond stones. I use wet stones more than I use diamond stones. I use diamond stones for those knives that are under 60 Rockwell. The softer steels, they are easier to sharpen and quicker to sharpen with diamond stones, and you get the same results that if you used a different medium like whetstones that take more time and effort. At 60, you start to get that, you go from the rolling steel to the chipping steel as the hardness changes, and then I look to use other mediums than the diamonds. Cleaning the stones, I've heard people, barkeeper friend and all that stuff. I would just use a dry vacuum or an air spray and blow it off. You spoke about using the white erasers, pencil erasers. That's a good idea. I never heard of that. The other one, I don't have it laying here, is the rust erasers. Wicked Edge sells them, and they have them on Prime. It looks like almost a block of, I don't know, it looks like a block of metal filings or something, and it's sort of soft, and it works like an eraser, and that works pretty good to clean them. I don't like to use water with my diamond stones because I think the steel plates eventually can rust and then lift off of the handles. But there's a lot of Pro-Pack 1s and Pro-Pack 2s out there from 2015 and earlier that are still stuck down well, and those people have been scrubbing with barkeepers' friends and water and that for years. So I don't know. I'm just sharing what I read, and I have had rusted stones that came off. So that's up to you. A vacuum, I think, is all. We're working dry. We're working with dry steel. After you do your break-in and you clean it up, there's not that kind of mess. After the break-in, it's minimal, I think, the amount of steel that a knife throws off. Unless you're starting with 50/80 and you're making a knife, then you're going to throw off some steel. I hope I covered everything, and some conversation in there for Steve too. Thanks.